Okay. We're live. Node.js mentorship meeting, planes, trains, and construction zone. So I've got construction happening outside. No.
I got planes outside all the time.
Oh, right? Topical. Do you literally have planes?
Yep, taking off about every 30 seconds.
Okay, wow. Right on. That's fun. I didn't expect the sort of the tech team and the literally flying to be so.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of all the runways that are surrounding us. You can
That's
see it on Google Maps. It's pretty interesting.
Wild. Cool. All right, so countdown is on for Node.js Interactive and presentations there. Ahmed is in transit today with some noise, so I don't think we're going to get the preview of the presentation.
Wouldn't be very safe.
No, it's not. Yeah. I haven't fully prepared it yet, actually. Yeah, I have just. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. Yeah. Actually, the background noise is minimal.
Yeah, I moved someplace far. Anyways, so I prepared like some headlines to talk, but most probably I'm not gonna prepare any slides for the presentation because it's gonna be on Slack or like Zoom or whatever.
I mean, that's basically all I do in most of my presentations anyway. So if you have, the key talking points, I will talk.
Yeah. I'm gonna just share like our progress, and I'm gonna like preview some of the assets that we have and our plan for the next round, and like just a call to action for people to join, mainly mentors.
Mainly mentors, right?
Yeah. So just so you're in the picture, AJ, most probably I will not get the visa in time, so I won't be able to attend the event in Vancouver.
I noticed we actually have a meeting issue this time.
Yay.
That's good. I assume you got in touch with Michael about that?
No, this is manually created.
Okay, that works too.
Yeah, we have a few items on the agenda actually today. No, actually one item only.
The retrospective?
I'll share it in the chat. It's issue number 79. Yeah, it's issue number 97.
Yeah, I get a lot of
yeah
pings about whether or not we received their application.
Yeah, me too. I believe it's a good idea, like to send an email to everyone we have,
right?
Just to tell them about like where we're at in the program, and that we're gonna start the next round soon. Hopefully, like this will build like some anticipation, I guess.
So, is it worth trying to put in some effort to kind of give folks a sense of where they are? Basically set up a computer thing to allow folks to say, is my mentorship request still active? How long can I expect to wait? And if I want to opt out, can I do that? Like, do we want to, as we sort of think of that, think about that full sort of life cycle?
That would definitely be useful if we could make it not a humongous undertaking. I would love to see that.
right? Since everybody on the team right now is sort of, changing and evolving their availability, the amount of manual intervention that we, have time for, we're trying to optimize for getting our, mentorship pairs, mentorship couplings in place. And it's not taking a huge amount of time, but it's definitely. I think that the folks that are being proactive and bubbling up probably represent more frustration than we're actually hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's kind of what I'm getting at there.
Yeah.
So we're
Do you
thinking.
think
Sorry, I was just going to say, so we're thinking we would have a website for the mentorship program that could have some information about it and also a list of the people who've signed up, essentially.
So I don't know that we want to, publicize folks listing there. Maybe opt in, right? But it would be fantastic if person when they sign up, could go in and be able to go back and sort of see where they are in time, right? Yes, I got accepted, and kind of the next two questions after being able to say yes, I got accepted, would be how much longer do I have to wait, and eventually opting out or pausing in the queue.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's any tools like readily available for doing such things. Do you have any idea?
So this is actually, putting on my other, ComCom hat. This is something that would be really interesting, potentially tied with individual membership. We're putting an individual membership proposal forth, and the expectation there is that we are able to use an identity system and have individual user accounts tied to the Node.js Foundation. So with that we could have that identity provider, and with an identity provider, basically the biggest gap that I see in sort of all of that technical implementation is managing identity. And the security of the individual's data.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I gold-plated the heck out of that. Folks just want a confirmation email, right?
I do think opting out would be useful, but for that we could just share an email address on Slack, set up a opt-out email address that they could send an email, just a blank email or whatever, saying that they want to opt out. That seems like the easiest path to that.
Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Now the hard questions. Does anyone want to take an action item on that?
I'd be happy to at least collect some requirements for how we want to collect names and decide who's getting emails.
Awesome.
What do you mean by
maybe
that?
We should work together though, Dan. If there's something similar you want for ComCom too, maybe we can just talk a bit about it offline.
Cool. Yeah, it'd be great. We are gated in some of that work by the website redesign that's happening. So in order to sort of integrate identity, the new website needs to go in. So in kind of putting it in realistic term with the volunteer-driven project, I would put this at optimistically, sometime in early 2019. In terms of our ability to sort of really land that. but our ability to sort of put forth requirements and raise our hands saying, hey, we want to make use of this system. We think this is going to be meaningful for other aspects of the project, will go a long way.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Great. So Ben and I will take an action there to sort of to help gather some requirements. Ben, if you want to take the sort of initial requirements gathering, I can carry that context to the various committees, to the community committee, and if you want to, potentially get involved with what's happening with website redesign, or if that's necessary, that would be the committee that Adam Miller's website redesign committee.
Okay, that sounds good. So basically, cool. Initial requirements I'm hearing are basically we know who you are, and right. We're able to send you an email, basically, and maybe some sort of stack that tells us when you joined for a specific initiative, like asking to be menteed.
Right. Yeah. So, it's all hanging off today a Google form, right? So if we haven't invited Ben into that form to sort of view the data, that would be a useful first step, right? Just, context of where the sort of systems and data access is coming from today, and the data that we're collecting.
Yeah, I have no problem doing that.
Cool.
Yeah, and also about the website redesign, I talked with Adam, and I'm gonna speak to him again via email. It's because we need to know what he's doing in regards to sharing resources about Node, because that's tightly coupled with the mentorship.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. Maybe we can open a thread to discuss both things at once, or do you think we can discuss them separately?
Yeah, this is a great thing to carry into Collaborator Summit, right? We'll all be there. We'll be having bigger conversations that sort of tie all the threads together. So that's a good one to take, and rather than doing a lot of running around, just do some coordination while we're face to face. Then, in terms of continuity forward, we can always we can approach it one of two ways. My go-to route would be to invite Adam to our forum. It fits my schedule most easily. And the other alternative would be to, of course, go to the regular meetings of the website redesign.
Yeah, I'll try to invite him to the next mentorship meeting.
Are we planning on moving away from Google Forms, or are we good with that?
So in the long term, I don't know that we want to tie ourselves to any system as much as possible. I do think we'd, if we want to tie ourselves to a system, I think it would make most sense to tie ourselves to a system that is managed by the Node.js Foundation. And so that, or whatever entity that happens to be or become, that will give us resources and folks that are sort of responsible. Whomever is in this group can always go to the foundation and say, hey, we're the new mentorship team. We need access to that thing, and if the foundation is managing that, then we can ensure continuity for the project.
Okay. The reason I was asking, we mentioned last meeting potentially adding a field for mentors to ask if they were a organization member or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering if we needed to follow up on that, or if we decide for or against that.
I think we should. That's kind of been the biggest takeaway for me in cohort 1 has been we've really leaned into that in terms of how we're executing on the mentorship program. So we should backfill everything. In terms of sign up, in terms of even documentation, to make sure that we're communicating that effectively up front, and not creating mismatched expectations, and also honestly not creating more work. Right? That filtering is work for this team.
Is there a way in Google Forms for them to edit their submission after the fact?
I think so.
Okay.
It's not incredibly intuitive to how to get back to those forms. They tend to be these little islands of Google hash identity IDs URLs that aren't particularly discoverable. We would have to manage that. But I think if we point someone with their Google account to a form that may have to require login, right? So there's the option Google Forms that to not use not log in. You can just submit a form.
Anonymous.
What's that, Ahmed? I missed part of that.
I said I went with the option that they don't need to sign up to fill up the form.
Right, which matches my expectations. I most of the forms that we would use throughout the project would generally have that option. But if we want to have that form be something that folks can come back to and manage, I think they're going to have to sign in.
Okay.
Need
I
that
was going to suggest that we maybe also add a field on the mentee application to say whether they're interested in mentoring.
Right on. Right.
After being a mentee.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
For asking them about if they're already in the organization or not, I have worked retrospectively over all the applicants, and I added a field to say, basically I searched for the current people in the organization, and I answered like yes or no. So we don't have
wow.
Yeah, we don't need to have them to update that.
Good work.
Right. So our existing folks know, but I think if we can make our lives easier,
yeah, of course,
going forward, that's.
I don't think any of the mentees or mentors are actually going to join today.
I have a pull request I opened about 8 hours ago for the meeting notes for last meeting. I just made them last night finally. I realized that I did miss the notes for the meeting before that. Would it be of any value to go back and make those, or not really?
If you have time, that'd be fantastic. If not, don't feel like you're obliged to.
Okay. Yeah, it's no problem.
So I think it's less for us, but more for anyone who's coming behind us and looking for the opportunity to go. This first cohort, these first couple of cohorts are going to define how this is going to be done for years. So the more of this sort of formational context that we can capture,
right,
the better.
Yeah, if we can just like have a file with the link of the video, the YouTube recording, maybe that's enough.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that context is the key bit.
Yeah, I definitely don't have a problem making the notes. It won't take that long. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a complete waste of time.
I need to excuse myself to get on a subway. Do you want to just fill me in offline?
I think we're wrapping up, Ben. So no problem. Look forward to seeing you next week at Interactive.
Oh, one quick update for me. Then I did ask about mentioning that we need mentors at the Code and Learn. Rich would be up for that, but he was concerned it would just get us more mentees and not mentors. So that was his concern. And he gave me a couple more people to reach out to about other venues we could maybe bring up.
Okay.
Do a quick announcement. So I was going to follow up with who Rich told me to follow up with, and he'd suggested another meeting we maybe could latch onto. I forget which one. So I'll just keep running with that if that makes sense to everyone.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben. Have a good one.
Yeah, maybe like actually the mentees and mentors who apply after or during the interactive event, maybe we should give them a higher priority because they're more engaged with the community. So it's one of the filter criteria that we have that we need them to.
I like that.
That's yeah, I like that. We're gonna get risky with some of our folks that have been around for a while. By putting other folks in to the front of the line. But I think the understanding that we can lean on in that is we're prioritizing folks that are preparing to be mentors, and that invitation has that extra carrot of mentorship.
There's nothing stopping those people who signed up previously from attending.
Right. Oh, that's your double criteria. There you go.
Yeah. Also, it will be like a good selling point for the program for people who are already attending.
Right. And yeah, I think I can weave a message there that that also sort of guilt shames encourages mentors into participating, because we need more mentors to enable the mentees. So by encouraging more mentors, they allow more mentees to participate in the program.
Yeah, my spin on it has always been that we need to focus on momentum and velocity of the program over anything, because we have such a disparity. Right, 1,500 plus mentees. Like, we really just can't do a first come first serve basis on that. The more, once we have a certain amount of mentors, that list won't be relatively as big to get through. So I think we just got to do whatever we need to do to get the best quality and best number of mentors we can get for right now.
That's a good message.
So I was thinking about going down the action items from the last meeting, just following up on them.
Let's do it.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
So Ahmed was going to open an issue for cohort 2 prep items. That was actually from 2 meetings ago, but I left it there because he had not got around to it the first time because of the presentation.
Yeah. It's gonna roll over again.
Okay, no problem. And reach out to the cohort about attending the next meeting. He did that. Ben had agreed to reach out to Rich Trott, which he said he did. He also agreed to create a PR to add himself to the mentorship team, which he did do, and we approved him. And Dan agreed to follow up with Michael Dawson regarding the issue creation script. And you said you have not done that. Okay. So that'll hold over to the next one. And I agreed to create the meeting notes, which I did for the last meeting, and I will now do for the meeting before that, after, and this one. So that covers all the previous action items. Do we have any? Did you mention one this meeting, Dan?
Yeah. So Ben took an action item around following up with the website redesign group to bring some requirements there and to get an understanding of what the timeline for potential integration could be. Then we have kind of a mentorship team action item, which is review and prepare slides for interactive.
Okay, great. And do we have any YouTube comments?
Oh, hi, Rob and Sama. Nope, just folks checking in as they're reviewing. So yeah, we could,
all right. Well, that's all I've got.
Cool. All right. Well, AJ, are you going to make it to Interactive?
No, I don't think so. I should, as I get to fly for free. So.
Right. There you go.
But where is it? It's in Vancouver.
Vancouver.
What does that involve from me? What would I have to do besides show up? So
at this point, I think the easiest thing to sort of navigate would be hitting Collaborator Summit. So going and getting into the conference. I don't know if I guess there's probably tickets still being sold. So you'd have to buy a ticket if you're going to go to to the conference, and then Collaborator Summit would be open to you, and that is if you go to the Summit repo.
We can do that offline.
Sure.
There's no reason to take up time in the meeting for that, but yeah, I'll get with you about that.
This is the Summit repo. So if you just want to go to the Collaborator Summit, that is Friday and Saturday, and then the conference is Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to take time off of work, I don't think, this early.
Right, but Friday and Saturday, Collaborator Summit. That's where kind of all of the sort of internal working group, collaboration, and one of the biggest things that Collaborator Summit serves the Node.js project with is just getting to know folks, right? So you've done a lot of great work with the throughout the project this year, and this would be a way to sort of build more of those relationships and backwards and get have a good weekend.
You too.
So yeah, Collab Summit is like, if you can swing it, definitely worth it. It's we do it twice a year, and a lot of project sort of coordination and discussing how we're going to approach things happens there. So really good.
Cool.
Great. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and shut down the stream, and